Hey, we're back. Welcome to the Whatever's Biting podcast, our usually monthly podcast that me and Ethan do, and we've made a stretched it a little bit this time, but we're here to talk about springtime fishing. Ethan, how's spring up there in Michigan?
Man, the weather's been kind of like honestly bouncing around a lot. It's been good though. I mean, I love the weather. I love the nice warming trends. I love the birds are chirping. The days are getting longer. Like there's a lot of awesome things, but we've also had we'll have like just a bunch of rain and then it'll get cold, then it'll get warm, then it'll get cold, and then it'll get warm. So it's been kind of like an all over the place kind of spring. But fortunately, it seems like the fish are starting to move and groove a little bit. So yeah, things are looking up.
I got to sound this summer. You just reminded me. I went out last night, like for just a couple hours on my kayak. Got in right when it was getting dark. It was so calm. It was dead calm. It was like 65 degrees. Listen for this. Is it coming through in the speakers?
It is. What?
Okay.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I don't. I think it's a whippoorwill, but actually, I think it's
Huh.
something that's like similar to a whippoorwill. If you're
I bet you a listener will absolutely know. I can definitely hear it. It's a little faint.
if you know what that is, send us a message or comment somehow, either on YouTube or if you're watching on a podcast platforms, you can message through those platforms also if you want to.
It was just your buddy Chris. He was out in the woods trying to mess with you.
Yeah, I think it's a. I heard this a while back that like whippoorwills have like there's something about there used to be whippoorwills, but there's not anymore. Now they're will whips or I don't know. I may have like this may be something I dreamed,
It
but
sounds
it's
like a
like it's
dream.
some kind of quail style bird that makes that noise, and it was awesome. It was like there was one on one side of the lake, and there was another one on the other side of the lake, and I'm just like, oh man, this is cool. So
Hmm.
caught a few fish. It was kind of just like I was just out messing around. I just had a couple hours. I decided to just run out real quick to do something.
Yeah.
I really didn't record, but it was neat. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy that we're finally starting to talk, and I feel like I've actually fished a few times. So yeah, it's definitely definitely excited for like this month to come. But even just these last few weeks, I've actually been out a little bit. So yeah, dude, it's things are changing quick. So yeah, I like how you introduced it today as our usually monthly podcast. Just like we mentioned last time, at the end of the day, fishing will always take priority, and chances are we're going to have more chances to fish. So this might be every 2 weeks sometimes, and then it might be every 6 weeks sometimes, but generally it'll average out at about a month.
yeah, I think so. I was supposed to play basketball today, so my plan was to get back from basketball, do the podcast. They canceled the basketball and moved it to later, but I don't think they were going to play now. So and I even bought like brand new shoes. They came
Ooh,
in today. I was going to hoop on some people, but we've been playing a little bit. I've been getting back into it. Real quick, I was going to do a 3-on-3 tournament. Drove down to Alabama to do it with my brothers, and we got down there at my brother's house, which is close to it. Checked the email, and they canceled it
oh,
after we
dude,
got there. But it was a cool. That was like 2 weekends ago. But anyhow, NBA is going on. I've been watching that. As soon as we get off this podcast, I'm gonna go watch NBA. Keep up with. I turned it off. I didn't. I'm not watching it right now, so I won't be sidetracked. Let's get straight into
yeah,
fishing
yeah.
because Ethan, I want to know. Let's go ahead and get to it. What's the last fish you caught, and what'd you catch it on?
Yeah, I think I'll see if I can manage this here. I've got a rod right in front of me. So last fishing trip I had was I took the day off from work and I went out in my kayak and got a full proper day of fishing in. I started out doing a lot of ultralight fishing, caught a lot of fish, a little bit of multi-species, a couple respectable ones along the way, but mostly smaller bass and whatnot. Still a great time. Well, then I started playing around with the bluegrass bug and caught a bunch of fish, a bunch of bass on it. And then towards the end of the day, I wasn't actually recording, so it's not going to be anything that's like in a video, but I was playing around with some larger, like just some like swim bait type stuff. I do have I had my cameras rolling, but nothing's going to come of it from like a video standpoint. But this one right here is the it's like the Megabass. I think they call it like the Mag Slow or Mag Slowl. I don't know what the heck it's called, but it's like a mag draft, except it's a little thinner and it's got a feathered treble. Um, I'm not sure. I'm undecided on if I like it or not. And reason is because it definitely slow sinks, and if you reel it a little too fast, it seems like it kind of gets on its side a little bit. So it's definitely meant to be fished slow. So when you fish it slow, it looks really good. Um, but I don't know if I like it as much as a mag draft, because I feel like the mag draft is just a little bit more versatile. You can throw it slow or you can run it a little faster, and it continues to run straight. But here's the thing. Here's the reason I bring this up. Dude, I picked up my 6-inch mag draft, and I've had this. It's still in good condition. And I started rigging it up, and I was being dumb, and I was rigging it up over the side of my kayak, and like I just slipped, and I dropped a mag draft in the water. So I lost like a $12 lure.
That's a
Just because
dumb way
I'm
to lose a lure right
stupid.
there.
I know,
It's
dude.
like,
It was so dumb. I was just so stupid. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is I haven't been in my kayak much this year, so I just like, it's like my brain's not firing on all cylinders. So dumb rookie mistake. So yeah, I'm down to mag draft, but yeah, I caught a couple fish on that little mag slow thing. I just caught some smaller bass. They'll kind of peck at it a couple times, and then all of a sudden they'll get it, and you just set the hook. Definitely looking for bigger fish though when I picked that up. So unfortunately, just catching 8-inchers.
I've been messing around with a 5-inch one on the dangerous style.
Yep.
And the 6-inch, and I really see no reason to throw a 5-inch after fishing. Like, unless something about those bass just like are keyed into it, I catch, I think, better. I mean, the same size fish, like 12, 13-inch fish on a 6-inch mag draft or the dangerous. So I'm like, why would I go smaller? But
well, how about with the dangerous though? That's a top hook, single hook, right? So you're still catching smaller bass on that. Like they're able to they'll get their mouth around the hook.
Oh yeah, I've caught like a 14-inch spot, which they don't have a
they have
giant
small
mouth, by
mouths.
the way,
Yeah.
and they can have half that lure in their mouth.
Yeah.
So whenever something like that happens, you're like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
If that's that easy for that fish, the ones I'm fishing for is 16 inches and bigger.
Yeah, sure.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing with it. Yeah, I mean, again, I was kind of like a long-winded story there, but it's definitely like I feel like it builds off of some of our former podcasts, because I've talked about how I want to throw some bigger baits. So starting to figure that out a little bit. The other thing is I just went down for like a real short bank fishing session the other day, just looking around. Dude, there was at this spot near me, the bass they were getting on beds.
Mm.
And I was like, dude, with this weather, it's been so wonky. I didn't expect to find bass starting to show up on beds. Like I actually saw a pair, like a male and a female, that were kind of figuring it out. And then I saw several males that were not like locked, but they were looking like they were kind of getting in that stage. So that was weird. I wasn't able to catch them because all I had was the swim bait, and it just wasn't really effective for like fishing 6 inches of water. But yeah, dude, the weather has really been a little. I'm just not sure what the fish are doing.
We've had some cooler nights, which have been nice, and because I know soon here in just a second it's going to change, and it's going to be like ridiculously humidity. But it's like been nice, cool evenings. But I've seen bass on beds for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Down here, I'm in Southeast Tennessee, for anybody that doesn't know, and but the thing is, like, in the lakes, way warmer than the creeks and the rivers that I fish a lot. The creeks and rivers, I think they've been on beds, but it's been a weird. But your lure leads right into something I want to talk about, and this is the 7-inch Magnum Fluke. It's the Super Fluke, Magnum Super Fluke in white pearl by Zoom with it. And this is something I think I talked about last year. It's something the Fluke was something I started picking up more last year. And then I started throwing this one. And same thing. I'm catching 13, 14-inch bass easy. And that's actually the last bass I caught was was it the last bass? Oh, I lied. Okay. The second to last bass I caught was on this. It was a 13-inch spot. And actually the last bass I caught was a 16-inch on the bluegrass bug. I forgot I caught that fish. But I didn't. That's not going to be a video. That's just like I'm starting to do a little time sometimes where I just go out and maybe fish an hour or two and just kind of roll the camera, but just I'm not really
focused on it. Yeah,
yeah.
dude,
I was actually my goal was that if I came across bluegill on beds, I was going to like set up and like, all right, I'm going to fish for these. But I didn't see them, and this is a colder lake where I didn't see any on beds, but I've already seen them on beds in some other creeks. So it's really weird. So I was like, I thought they'd be all over the place. But anyhow, I got a big 5/0. It's like a long shank hook. This is what I was using. And yeah, that 7-inch looks big, but I took it down, and it's a good size profile, but I'm
Yeah, for sure.
really starting to like it more and more and feeling like it could be a lure I kind of keep on there all summer, fall, where no matter if I'm, what kind of species, smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass, or shoal bass. I went last week. Was it last week? Week and a half ago, I went and caught my PB shoal bass.
Nice.
And the
How big is
second
that?
of that video just came out. If you're listening to this, it probably just came out like a couple days ago. So I caught a 20 and a 3/4 inch shoal bass and a 20 and a quarter.
Jeez.
Neither one were on the fluke, but they probably would have caught them on the fluke, but I was just going through lures. But I caught a bunch of 16, 17s on the fluke and a 19-incher actually on the fluke. But the biggest one was on a bull shad that I watched it hit my lure 3 feet in front of me. It was just so locked in on it. And another thing about shoal bass, which a lot of bass do, and Ethan, I think if you haven't been trying it with the mag draft, is just killing that lure and just letting it fall. I don't know. The shoal bass are big on hitting on the pause. So I can twitch the fluke, twitch, and just let it fall. And they wham, they ram it.
And the fluke too, it has like that little quiver to it when it falls. It's very similar to like a Cinco, that the tail will just shimmy just a little bit, which it's pretty dangerous. I mean, I feel like a fluke is one of those baits where it's like, if you master it, you can catch fish on it anywhere and everywhere. But until you master it, it's kind of a frustrating lure, because I feel like I don't just pick one up and go catch fish. To me, it's like, once you do though, once you're really good at it, you have so much confidence in it. It's kind of similar, I guess, in a way to like, like a skirted bass jig. Like a lot of people, they don't have confidence in it. They can't catch their first few fish on it. They just can't figure it out. And then once they do and it starts to click, they don't put it down. But I feel like the fluke's kind of that same way. And I just never feel like I've ever gotten to the point where I like just trust myself with a fluke. So it's cool to see that you are. So it's probably gonna make me pick one up again here one of these days.
I definitely, it's something I'm going to like kind of always have with me if I see sea bass and can't get them to respond. Maybe not in the wintertime, but I feel like all throughout the summer, especially when it's like super hot, and those, maybe like a creek that's not flowing or like lake, or you see fish, they're in a little area and it's like really hot and they're just not where you go like a big topwater to get them to react. I think the fluke's another lure. At the same time, it's so funny how you can almost get fixated on a lure. I did it last year. We're like, oh, this is going to catch fish.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And then it like doesn't. As soon as you think that you like, it's always going to catch fish. But it's definitely something I think that will kind of be with me a lot, where, okay, I think I may need at that right time or whatever. But the rod I was throwing, I'm trying to figure out what rod to throw it on. And the rod I threw it on was a 7.2 medium, but it was a pretty firm medium with 30-pound braid. And
well, are you talking a casting setup?
Setup, yeah.
That's what I figured. Okay, interesting.
I'm not sure if that's if it's the best thing or not, but it lets me kind of fling that lure really well.
Oh yeah,
I think it kind of has a little bit of a give where I can kind of lean into them. But
that sounds like probably a pretty good setup for it. I mean, I never really know. Yeah, with like some of those like weightless plastics or like slightly weighted plastics, like that's more of a moving bait though. So it's a little different than just like a Texas rig. You're not going to want that stouter rod because you're giving it a lot more action. That softer rod is going to give it some more action, being able to twitch it and get it to really turn to its side and that sort of thing. So feels like a 7.2 medium with that braid. That's probably a pretty great setup.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting it dialed in because now's our time to really, I don't know, every year I feel like I have different rod and reel setups when I go river fishing. And when I go river fishing and creek fishing or like kayaking, I want 3 rods that can do a little bit of my main thing I want to do, but also some other things. And I'm like, dude, that's 7 foot with braid. I feel like or 7.2 with braid. You can do you can do so much with that.
Yeah.
Throw a spinnerbait, chatterbait.
Yeah,
Take a
you got to have
fluke.
versatility with river trips because it's like, yeah, I try to avoid when I'm on the river with my kayak. I really do try to avoid going more than 3 rods. And I think we may have talked about that in the past. It's just like the second you start to add too much gear on a river, you're just asking for problems. You're asking for something to get broken or lost, or potentially asking for a situation where you're trying to save your gear from problems, and then you actually put yourself in danger of like flipping your kayak because you're too fixated on getting all
Yeah.
your rods. So it's like just less is more on a river trip.
Yeah, and finding speaking of that's something I've been thinking of because like this right here is the 7 inch, a big bait, but I can throw it on a medium. Where if I was wanting to throw a 7 inch swim
Yeah.
bait,
Yeah.
it
Those
would be
are
way heavier.
ounce
And
and a
I'm like,
half.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, well, I can get away with throwing this, which I feel is the same profile on a lighter rod and do more with that rod. So that's something I
Yeah.
just kind of been thinking about and messing around with and trying to get it. I'm always trying to get it dialed in. I change every year, but it's that time. I got a big river tournament coming up Saturday, and it's a smallmouth river, and it's a tournament I kind of look forward to. It's our local group. It'll be like 35 people in it probably. I got my kayak, the new Old Town. Did we talk
Yeah.
about this? I think
We
we did.
talked about it last time a little bit. Yeah. But that was very early on. So how's it been going for you?
I'm loving it. It's
Yeah.
I just put the Newport 180 Pro on it for the first time and used it the other day
Huh.
in a lake. And man, talk about relaxing fishing. It like really makes it more just makes your fishing more relaxing, enjoyable. Just feels like because there's more room in the kayak, so I can have more rods. It's wider for my feet, so I'm not feeling cramped. I got the motor on the back. I got the pedal drive also. When I don't want a motor, I can just like pedal down the bank. So I'm trying to just like dial it in, and that's probably gonna be like my main like tournament rig. And the river I'm gonna go fish, it's a big river, but I want to be able to like run upstream and kind of fish a bank because there's some like deep banks that I really focus on that have some big smallmouth, and I want to throw the big fluke and probably a either mag draft or a big bull shad or something to get some of those 19 and 20 inch smallies to come out because
Nice.
that's what I'm going to need to win this tournament.
Yeah. You mentioned kayaks. Like that's another thing that's kind of on my mind right now is, I kind of want to swap a kayak again. I'm trying to figure out. So I've got my Old Town 106, and I'm good with that. And then I've got that Wilderness Systems Radar. I like that kayak, I do, and I want to fish it more before I get rid of it. But I think I might look into swapping that. And I'm not sure what I want yet, um, but my older son, he's 3.5, and I want to be able to take him in a kayak and have
Mm-hmm.
room. And like it's whether that's like a canoe or a kayak. I don't think I want like just like a standard old canoe. I would like something that's a little more fishable, that type of thing. But and more versatile because if I want to take it out solo kind of thing. So I don't know what that looks like yet, but I got to do some research and figure out a good solution. And it might be more of just like a classic paddle style kayak that just has a lot of room. I don't want something too heavy because if I'm having to deal with paddling and navigating stuff while dealing with a toddler, so yeah, just lots of things to be thinking about. So I wanted to browse the web and really start looking at more designs. But if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. um I really liked my Old Town. I still have it. It's at my parents' house. Is my Old Town Solo Discovery canoe. I don't think that's quite big enough, but I like that because it's more like hybrid kayak canoe. It's
Yeah.
very light and portable. You can fish out of it just fine. I mean, it's not as fancy as a big kayak, but I'm thinking like maybe something like that, just a little bit bigger, could be good for bringing a kiddo too. So yeah, that's one thing that's been on my mind. I'm trying to figure what that looks like.
Where would you want him to sit, or do you have like an idea
Well,
of like
that's
how?
the thing, dude. Is like I kind of prefer him to be in front of me, and that's where pedal drives are out of. I'm not going to deal with a pedal drive because once he's in front of me, because I'd like to be able to kind of like sit and like help him fish, kind of thing.
Yeah,
If he's behind me, that's gonna.
yeah.
I'm
You-
concerned with that. I
and
need to help him.
have you
Uh,
seen the Crescent Crew?
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I've always
Yeah,
wanted to try a crescent.
it's a two-seater. I know the guy, Georgia Boys Outdoors. Him and his son
Hmm.
fish out of them. and his son's like probably 8 or 9.
Sure.
But he'll
Look into
paddle, and they'll both be fishing in like rivers too. I think that's something that actually might fit you really well. It's and all the crescent stuff's a little bit narrower and kind of better for paddling. So
I might look into that. I was thinking like I probably just want to do the good old fashioned paddle.
yeah.
But like there's part of me that's also like, well, maybe I should consider a trolling motor setup and then but I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with all the trolling motor stuff. Which is probably crazy. Like it probably would be a more effective setup. Anyways, I'm very early on in the process. That's probably a whole rabbit hole that we could go down, but I'll avoid it for the day. But feel free to DM me if you've got ideas, my friends.
Speaking of that, I got to mention another kayak I have. I bought the Old Town Minn Kota 106. I don't remember if I mentioned this last.
You did.
Yeah. Okay. So I've used it now like 4 or 5 times, and I have to tell you that kayak is super comfortable. And so if somebody, I'm going to make a video on it coming up. I'm like, if somebody's looking for a motorized kayak as easy and simple, they don't want to have to put a motor on it and rig it and run wires. Minn Kota 106 is so easy. It's got a handle on the side for the throttle, and it's got a really great foot steering built into it. Very, very stable platform. It's like the 106 platform, except wider. So take your pedal drive and make it wider and probably 25 pounds heavier of a kayak with a drive in it. So like way more stable. Not like way more, but it's definitely more stable. And then you don't have the pedal in the middle. The motor goes into the middle and folds down. It's wide open in the middle. I've used it. It only go about 3.8 miles an hour, and it's got a 45-pound thrust. But you can get a 100 amp hour lithium battery, and I used it in a tournament. I used it last night. I actually ran around, and I let a guy borrow it, and I used it another day. And man, it's like, wow, this thing is like, it's. I never heard anybody talk about it. So anyhow, you can find them on Facebook for like $2,500. I've been seeing some of them, but I'm probably gonna make a video coming up. I'm like, dude, this kayak, everybody's trying to do all this stuff. This kayak is like ready to go, simple as it gets for a motorized kayak. Feels like a little boat. Feels like you're just buying a little boat.
Yeah. There's so many options now. Definitely fortunate to have lots of variety of options. Just got to find that right one. And that's where you really got to figure out what you need as an angler. And that's where my needs as an angler just is changing a lot over time. And now I'm trying to think about it different and try to think for the future. What is the right rig for me? So yeah, we're going to figure it out. I mean, the good news is I've got you as my buddy, and you've used 10,000 different kayaks now. So you should be able to point me in the right direction or something.
That's my goal. My goal is to use as many as I can. Speaking of that, if anybody's out there listening, New Canoe, you need to send us a kayak. I want a U10. Have you seen the U10?
Oh, those look so cool. And honestly, I was thinking about New Canoe for me and the kiddo because it is such a big open platform kayak. Like I think that could be a really great option. So New Canoe, absolutely. Tell you what, get us a couple of rigs, and the show could be brought to you by New Canoe. Hey, it would be a worthwhile investment in my opinion, but this is not me trying to sell
you need the unlimited. I'll take the U10. Have you seen
I've seen what Jeff and Paul have up close. I don't think they have.
What do they have?
I don't remember. Flint, maybe. I don't remember.
Okay, the Flint's kind of skinny, but yeah,
they have some interesting. New Canoe has a very unique and cool.
I saw that swivel seat. It looks so comfortable.
The swivel seat is sweet. Nice. That looks so cool. That would make it so much more easy, again, with a kiddo, to just be able to help. And I'm wondering about any setups that actually you could rig a second seat on. I need to look at the New Canoe after this because now I'm curious because they are so wide. Is there a track mount where you could actually put a second seat?
Yeah, they definitely have one that you can put 2 seats on.
New Canoe, hook it up.
And you can turn it around, have it facing you with the swivel seat.
Oh, man.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Man, think of all
Now,
those videos that could be made.
guys, you're witnessing the wheels turning. Is what?
If you came here for some kind of high intelligent conversation,
No.
we're just talking about fishing, what's going on, but we try to keep it relevant. That's one thing about our podcast that we're going to try to do is keep it relevant to where we are now, what we're using, what we're doing, what we're thinking, because that's how other people do. We can't just only cover the certain topics. We try to cover everything. And speaking of now, all right, I'm ready to get into my second show and tell.
All right.
And this is what I live for every year.
All right.
This April has been a little sluggish, but it's time to throw the Rebel Crick Hopper. Yeah, this lure. All right, I'm editing the video right now, and I'm about done. But if I was to if I had a camera to zoom in every time I threw this, you'd think I was getting blown up from 10-pound bass the way they hit this lure.
Just
I
bluegill
had
swirling.
long ear that were about 3 inches long, just coming out of the water, hitting this thing.
That's wild.
And I would hook about 1 out of 10. But man, those things were aggressive. So this is the first time I fished it this year. By the way, Rebel has a new matte series. It's called, if you can read that, see that. It's called just MATTE. They redid the colors on a lot of the Rebel critters to give them a dull color instead of like a shiny, crisp. It's like a dull, natural color. And that's the big hopper there. But I was throwing the small, regular crick hopper. This is the lure that I fell in love with. I don't remember, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, probably. I don't know how many fish I've caught on those. Now, they're not for everywhere, but and you definitely need to have the right setup to throw it on. A good ultralight rod with some 4-pound mono with a little bit of stretch is a great setup. I was actually using. I did a series of the ultimate ultralight rods. And have you ever used the Bass Pro Johnny Morris Carbon Light ultralight rod?
Dude, I still haven't, which I've been recommending that rod so many times.
Oh, really?
But
I didn't know they had that rod. I went the other day to Bass Pro to do this series, and I thought it was going to be like a $70 rod. Well, it was $129. Man, it's nice. It feels really good.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I feel like Bass Pro actually does make some pretty good stuff. The only ultralight I've used of theirs is the Panfish Elite, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good rod.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good rod. But I think those carbon, whatever they're called, those look pretty sweet. I'll have to pick one up one of these days. I feel like I just constantly am testing new ones. It's like there's always going to be ones that I don't.
Yeah.
So
I got a series going on, and I need to ask you for a suggestion for the next series. So it's the ultimate ultralight combo, the best quality that I can find. First one was Walmart, and Walmart has zero good ultralight
someone's
rods.
been telling me to do their Lose one. Did you pick that one up?
The Lose Light?
Some kind of Lose Walmart combo.
Oh, Walmart one? Oh, I don't know.
Maybe,
I didn't see any.
Probably not in all stores, right?
Yeah, they may have.
The thing is,
they've been
one
sold
Walmart,
out.
You can go to 10 Walmarts in a greater area, and they're all going to potentially have different things. But across the country, it's not even close. But I have been told there's like a cheaper Lose ultralight combo that you can find sometimes at Walmart. Has been pretty good, but I haven't found it. I haven't looked for it yet, but I do intend to hopefully get one of these days. So anyways, you're doing the ultimate combos at different stores. So you did Bass Pro, you've done Walmart.
And I had Cast King send me their Kestrel combo.
Yeah.
Which
good setup.
I'd had that before a long time ago. I like the rod better than the reel on the Kestrel.
Yep.
The reel's okay. But anyhow, the rod's really good. So
what did you notice with the reel that threw you off?
So this is the
drag.
The dragger is too noisy and weird and loud.
You're talking the spinning reel, right?
Spinning reels, Kestrel spinning reel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels great. I like the size. It feels great. And also it's the second time that my old one did this once, and this one did it the other day on me. And I was out in the kayak. The line gets up underneath the housing or whatever that thing's called. The top. Spool. And you have to take the spool off. But if you do, there's a bunch of little pieces. So or you can just cut it and pull it out. But that's happened to me on my old one that I had. And then on this one, and it's just starting to turn me off a little bit. We're like, okay, it's a little annoying.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm pretty much not shy about the fact that Shimano and Daiwa reels they're the best reels in my eyes.
It's hard to go
I'm
wrong.
not yeah, I'm not like anti like if you want to buy a Lewis, that's fine. I've used them, they were fine. The Casking Kestrel, that's fine. I think for the price though, I would rather have a Shimano. Like and then it's like I don't have any interest in trying a Pissy Fun or Pisky Fun or whatever the heck that is. Other than that, it's like, there's just I'm trying to remember what other real companies even are relevant these days.
Yeah, the Johnny Moore's was $100. I got that, and it was a pretty nice. It was actually, which is probably, I think it's actually made by Daiwa or Shimano. I can't remember which one it is. It's
Someone
made by
makes
somebody,
it for them.
but
Yeah,
it's a nice for $100. It felt quality.
Pfluger's always been fine too, but I still prefer Daiwa or Shimano personally. So
yeah. But I need to know what the next one to go is. So either go to another store or go to another brand, or I had a thought like maybe I go to there's like my buddy Exploring Adventures. He was telling me about his setup. Like the way he sets it up, he has a 7-foot TFO, and he runs like 6-pound braid, and he catches like all kinds of. He'll catch like bass, carp, bowfin. It's like it's a little bit.
Who's your buddy? Sorry.
Exploring Adventures.
Oh yeah. He messages me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely a big believer on the 7-footer. Yeah,
TFO I thought about maybe like because I was talking to him about it, or I was messaging him about it, and I was like, maybe I'll just get what he like his style. This is this guy's like ultimate combo, what he chooses, and then maybe I choose something. I just kind of mix it around. I want to do 3 or 4 more in this series at least, like kind of trying to find different ways to have it, but every one of them is going to be like a good quality. I'm not trying to go budget on this one. It's kind of more like good quality. I thought about doing one like if one of these videos took off and paid for it, the ultimate and get
I've always wanted to do that.
What's
$600 rod?
Yeah, get the Stratic. I want like
$100
Stratic 1000,
dude,
and like the whatever the most expensive rod I can find. I'm like, oh man,
I've always wanted to be like, but I'm not gonna sink that money on it. Like, and even if it would potentially like maybe if it got 1 million views, maybe it'd be worth it. But like, like fishing with a $800 ultralight rod, is it worth it? I can tell you the answer is no. Like there is not a rod. There's not an ultralight rod.
People say that about $100 rod.
Okay, but I don't think there's like $800 like different. Like there is a value like 100. I've used a wide spectrum of rods, and I can tell you that there's a diminishing return.
Yeah.
On like for every dollar more you spend past about like 70, you're getting just a little bit less value. Like, that $20 to $40 rod is nothing great. The $50 rod's pretty good. And then you get up to like that 70 to 100, and those are like pretty solid, like really solid. And then once you're spending well north of $100 or well north of 200, then it's just like, all right, yes, it's nice, but it has a diminishing return for every dollar you spend. Like, honestly, my favorite rod that I've fished with right now, because I broke my Dobbins or whatever, and I just haven't replaced it because I don't really want to spend money for them to give me a new one. Like, and I tried to email them and they just never replied. So I'm just like, I'm a little annoyed with Dobbins right now. That's always been my favorite ultralight. But the TFO Pastime, dude, it's like a $250 rod. This is my current favorite. So I'm kind of eating my words a little bit here.
Yeah.
I love this rod, but I think honestly, it's just a fancier version of it's a fancier upgraded version of their standard TFO. Like they're straight up TFO trout and panfish. Wonderful rod too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to spend double to get the Pastime. I think it is a better rod, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know if it was me tomorrow, like just choosing a rod, I don't know if I would spend double. Right. So anyways, I'm rambling, but
yeah,
we talk about ultralight rods for an hour.
What's crazy is like, I for like 2 years, I've been wanting, or ever since the Trout Panfish 2 came out, I've been wanting to go buy a 6.6 and a Nasi 1000 brand new, just pair them together. I feel like that is just like such a good combo. Like you can't beat that combo hardly. It's like $200 or $220 probably, or $230. But like, man, you can do whatever with that.
This is 6'6". I love this rod. I
Yeah.
I think, I mean, the part of the reason that it's more expensive, it's made in the USA. And like that,
I didn't know that.
look, here's the thing. Like, say what you will. Like, some people value that, some people don't. I'm not going to judge one way or the other, but the fact that they are making it in America is going to make it more costly.
Yeah.
But there's also a real cool benefit, like the fact that it's supporting local jobs. That's really cool that they did that and they put that American flag, kind of decal on it.
Dang.
So I
Love them.
think it's a really sweet rod, and
Right.
I've had such good experiences with Temple Fork as a company,
Yeah.
and that just goes a long ways with me. Like, I guess I'm like, I loved my Dobbin Sierra, and I've broken it twice now. The first time being on me was my fault. The second time, I don't understand why it broke. Maybe they're just somehow it got banged and had a weak point in its blank, whatever. I want to replace it very bad, but I just don't want to spend the money. Like, I think it'll cost me 80 bucks or whatever to replace it. I think they should just replace it for me, because I feel like it was an error on their end. But again, maybe I'm just complaining. Just anyways, I guess the point is TFO has awesome customer service. They've been really great. I'm a big believer in their company.
Yeah. I have, I need to get their newer ones and try some more. They actually have a saltwater rod that I want to try. It's like a 6'9" medium, but anyhow, we'll get off TFO for now. But
yeah, unless they want to, send us 10 rods a piece.
yeah, I actually, speaking of that, I need to follow up on them. I'd heard from them, and then I messaged the guy. I never heard back. So if you're listening, hit me up. I'll send you another message. Try to get back with you. But yeah, it's cool that's what, for part of my series is just like there's a lot of different rod and reels out there.
I got an idea for you. So on that, why don't you do a JDM one? So do high end, but like Japanese.
Like, have to order it from Japan? Japanese?
Yeah.
Do they have them? I don't even know where I would go.
Some of the stuff you can get on Amazon now.
Okay.
But if not, there's a website called Digitaka, Digitaka, and it's just a Japanese fishing. But I've bought stuff from them. They're great. They're very, like, I don't buy a ton of stuff. That's out of my comfort zone, to be honest with you. But I did it because people.
That is a good idea.
I'm telling you, like, you'll be like, oh my gosh.
I need to order like their line and everything.
Oh,
like
100%. Yeah, I got some.
Dude, all right. Let me write that down.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, look at this. It's like, this is like Japanese.
Yeah. How do you know if it's if it's what was the word again?
Huh?
How do you know if it's JDM? Is there like a thing, or is it like?
Well, it's just stuff that isn't offered in our domestic market. It's offered in Japan. It's so it's. I can point you in the direction of some.
That sounds like a good next challenge. I like that.
There's a couple things that I've been recommended. It shouldn't be crazy. Like, honestly, I had bought some reels from Digitaka, and it was no worse than buying them here. So,
speaking of rod and reels, I have people, like, when I do videos in my garage where people are like, man, you got a lot, and people always wonder what we do with them. So I did give one away. Actually, I gave the Bass Pro rod and reel to Darren Wendell. Shout out the Wendell podcast. Me and you both been on there. He came down, fished for a couple days. We had a fun time. I got him on his first Coosa bass.
Nice.
We had like 10 minutes. It started pouring down rain. Caught it using them. I put the confidence. All right. I'm rigging up. He didn't have an ultralight. I'm like, I'm rigging up your rod. I'm putting on the lure that's guaranteed a red-eye Coosa bass, the burrow bug, and yeah, got three.
Let's go. I'm so happy you just said that.
Yeah, I was like, this lure will get one. Like, I guarantee you, this is perfect for them. They like those little bugs and stuff like that.
Dude, I have seen people tag me on, like, people that are out the Kaba red-eye bass.
Oh yeah.
And they'll be tagging me, and like, those fish are amazing. And yeah, the burrow bug is a consistent. People use it for those. Yeah. I'm so jealous.
Yeah. They eat like the red eye, the Coosa bass, and all the different red eye species like that. They eat little baits. They eat little bugs. Eat like trout do.
Mm-hmm.
So when people fly fish for them, you just throw tiny little lures because they'll eat tiny little things.
Yeah.
I mean, I've caught them also on like bigger lures, like bass lures, but for the most part, you don't need much. You don't have to like entice them with much to get them to bite. So my eye is watering again. I got dust probably all in my eyes. I've been working on my garage, and I have to send you a picture. I got shelves all down one side now. A guy from church, he is like a carpenter on the side, and I was like, dude, I need some shelves. Come build me some shelves because I'll never do it. And he came on Saturday, did the whole wall. I've been organizing today. It's pretty nice. It's nice to have all that room to like start actually trying to organize everything. Now my eye won't stop watering.
Well, I've made John cry today, so probably okay. So we're 40 minutes in here, John. We have talked about a lot of random stuff. This was like the one of the most random episodes I think we've had yet. So thank you for everyone who has bared with us up until this point. Okay, so what are you most looking forward to for these next few weeks? Like this is like the time of year where things are happening, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
A lot of fish are active. We've got spawning fish. We've got pre-spawn. We've got post-spawn. Like we've got a lot going on right now. What are you most excited about right now?
Top water. That's what I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to I caught some on top water when I went shoal bass fishing. I actually caught one of the 21s on a Chapo 105, and he just slurped it I thought it was a little fish. Turns out to be a 4-pounder. But I haven't not been able to get on top water around me. It's been like delayed this year. So that's my goal. Hopefully next podcast, I'm going to bring in a setup that I've been messing with and tweaking and working on and trying to get them to work. I won't tell you unless it happens. So hopefully next week I have a show and tell. That's going to be a really, really fun.
Sweet.
So within the next month, I should be able to get top water and be able to use this rod and reel with a certain lure to really get on some good top water. That's my goal.
Any specific top waters you're most excited about?
Micro buzz baits.
Yeah. Okay. I've actually got one of those rigged up on my BFS rod over here. Yeah. So for me, I've got two things. I have a work trip, and I don't know. There's a chance that I bring my travel ultralight. So I don't know if I'll get a chance to fish or not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's for work, but I'm going in a little early, so we'll see if it all works out. Maybe I'll fish a little bit. So I just want to catch fish on my work trip if that works.
Work trip fishing. There you go.
Work trip fishing, my friends. Hey, you got to make every minute.
Is it south of you or what?
I'm going back to New York, so same as last year. And so we'll see if I have the opportunity to catch a fish. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I'll have time, but I'm going to try to bring my travel ultralight just in case, right? Like you can never be too prepared, folks. So that's one small thing, right? The second one that I'm real excited about is I'm getting pretty excited about some of these big baits, and I feel like some of like the wake bait, or like more of like the big glide type stuff, but then also just like the mag draft, just because I have a lot of confidence that I can catch fish on that. But I've kind of got like an idea for some video series type thing. So I'm excited to get that going. So I'm hopeful that between now and next, like when we talk, I'll have more in the works there, or more, maybe even have a video posted by that point. We'll see. It just depends on if our podcast is, in 3 weeks or if it's in 6 weeks. Depends on what we do.
if my thing works out the way I want it to, I have a goal to kind of maybe come up your way for pike, because I really want to catch them on this setup that I'm going to be fishing with.
Honestly, that's half the fun.
In a while. So
yeah, that's half the thing with this whole like big bait idea, is like to throw this stuff is like, I fully welcome pike. Like I want to be very clear. This is not a bass series. Like if I catch pike while I'm doing it, then I will happily call it a pike series. Like the goal is to just catch fish on larger baits, not specific fish. So.
All right, that's cool. I appreciate everybody for listening, and it's another episode of the Whatever's Biting podcast. Ethan, you got anything to say here at the end?
Hey, go catch some fish this spring, my friends.
If you want to go fishing, this is the time. So if you've been waiting around and you're like, you know what, I needed that one more person to tell me to go fishing. Well, go fishing because they're moving shallow. If you're in Tennessee, and go to the lakes, the bass and stuff are getting very shallow, and they're starting to eat and get active. And although I did do a trip the other day, 8 hours on or 6 hours on the river, caught 3 fish all day.
Hey,
One of them
don't
was a
tell people
walleye.
that. Don't tell people that. We're trying to get people to go fishing.
One of them was a walleye. The other one was a yellow perch on a spinnerbait, and then the other was a little spotted bass. So, but you know, it's I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the guy not tomorrow, next day. Then got a tournament. And then I'm gonna. Oh, real quick, I got a big series coming that should be wrapped up before our next podcast. I'm going to be fishing 5 rivers in Tennessee in 5 days. I did this 2 years ago. This year, I'm going to plan to do with Aaron from Aaron's Outdoor, maybe meeting up with some other guys. So we're going to try to get 5 smallmouth rivers in 5 days, and that hopefully that works out, and I'll be able to recap all that because I think that'll be really interesting.
I know you have me beat here, but the other thing, I was just doing math in my head. Golden shiner, creek chub, green sunfish, bluegill, crappie, largemouth, yellow perch. I don't know. I've probably got something else, but I have 7 species this last couple of weeks. So
I thought that was all in one video, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I chose 6 of them.
I go watch Ethan's last video. He was when I saw you catch the golden shiner, I was like, what?
Yeah, I know that was pretty
you had
sweet.
those up there, but
so I gotta, maybe this year, maybe we can start doing, maybe we should do like a multi-species challenge one of these days. That could be fun. Anyways,
from when we end a podcast to when we start the podcast, our next one, how many species can you catch within that month between podcasts? That would be a fun challenge.
It would be, and it would also be like, I've always thought like a 24-hour video, like where it's like you have like, okay, today my intention is to catch as many species as possible. I'm going to go to different bodies of water to do it.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to do a video like that.
Leave us some comments, people. We're always thinking.
The wheels are turning again.
Have some good ideas, but
welcome back to our brainstorming session. We'll catch you guys next time.
We'll catch up next time. Get out there and catch whatever is biting.